heading down into turn 13 now. Probably up in the brake bias.
Kimmy
is spun, is he?
Yep, he's spun. He's completely lost the car out of the first sector, right on the very end of it. He was essentially drifting around some of those corners, really trying to push the car.
Alpines, I think, maybe afterwards, maybe giving each other a tow, maybe. I'm not too sure, but Jarpo Jippy up to P3. That is the best that he can do. We now look to Saban, now coming up to the line, improving by 2/10. That's good enough for P13 for him. We got one of the Red Bulls now of Brian Evans up to the line. P3, he retakes it off Jarpo Jippy. Let's see what Just L can do as Neb goes into P5 there. We have the McLaren now of Raza Gamer, P14 for them. Dave now coming in turn 27. The Ferrari of Alex goes into P4 there. And we also have the Haas of Duke now up to the line as well. Where can he place that Haas? Up to P10. Dave now up to the line and he goes into P14. We have the other Ferrari of Raven now heading up to the line. He will now go provisional pole with a 26.4. Can anyone else beat that? We have Tharlo now. Els is invalidated, so this is looking very good for Raven West. Tharlo is also invalidated. No improvements for him. Suzuki Dior is still on a lap, but is he able to go any quicker than a 26.7 up to the line? No, he doesn't. He stays P8. More leader. Obviously, he's already finished his lap, so that is pole for Raven West. Back on pole here, and he will be very happy with that as we now head trackside to those 5 red lights, and it will eventually be lights out and away we go after a pretty big hold there, but who has gotten the better jump? Was it Raven? Was it Kimi Dakunda? It was Raven heading into turn 1. Kimi has a slight look down the inside, very close to contact. Kimi will hold it around the outside. Does he get that exit? He gets a brilliant exit out of turn 2 and will take the sprint victory now from Raven West. That was a beautiful overtake on the Ferrari team principal. Do we have any battles further down? We do see Duke actually having a little bit of a spin there. I think that was a bit of contact with Raza Gamer in the McLaren, as Raza Gamer has also dropped down. So has Saban as well. So maybe all 3 of them getting involved in some contact. Are we going to see any moves being made as we head up into turn 12? We see the Mercedes there of Neb Restroom going down the inside of the Sauber of Tharlo, and he will get that place into P7. A good overtake for himself. Don't think we will, unless we will see that Haas maybe trying to make a move on the Sauber, and he does go down the inside. Little bit of contact, but managing to not send anyone facing the wrong way, and Suzuki Dior will stay in P9. A little bit dangerous there, but will we see more leader now try and make a move on Apple Juice, as Apple Juice was also compromised by that slight incident. Down the inside he sends it. Will he get the car slowed down? Yes, he does. Will he be able to keep that place? Apple Juice sliding a little bit on the rear, heading out of turn 27, and he will get the place. Will we see any moves, though, being made down into turn 1? We do see a few drivers trying to go down the inside. Suzuki Dior, though, will go down the inside of the Sauber once again, going into turns 1 and 2. Will he be able to keep that around the outside, getting very close into the wall there, but he manages to stay behind. We also see Zadave and Apple Juice there going side by side into turn 4. Somehow no contact through there, as Apple Juice will hold P11 from Zadave.
Oh, Just Ale's had a moment. Just Ale's had a huge moment. He just dropped down the field. He's been passed by one Mercedes, now getting passed by a second Mercedes as Neb is looking to the inside, has the move done. Raven West is a little bit closer and gaining it down the inside goes the Ferrari. Does he have the drive on the exit of the corner? Looks like he does. The Ferrari into the lead. Will Kimi Dakunda respond with the drag reduction system? The rear wing is open on that Alpine, and he's got the move back once more. The Red Bull to the inside. Brian Evans looking to maybe just interject himself in the conversation. Into second position goes the Red Bull. Fetch us all kicking off at the front of the grid.
Going into turn 1, we saw it obviously a lap ago. Brian Evans does switch to the inside of Kimi Dakunda. Will he be able to get it, though, on the exit? I think Kimi Dakunda did actually have a much better exit than the Red Bull driver, but all 3 of them will dive into the pits. Alex will now inherit the race lead with Jarpo Jippy is closing in. Can he find a move to the inside? Yes, he does. Will he be able to get that place? He then eventually tucks into the slipstream. Jarpo Jippy will stay in P2.
As multiple fastest laps now taking place.
Will Raven go for a massive sand into turn 1? He was actually a little bit pushed off track there, but he will come out just ahead. But he pushes the Mercedes into the wall there. Just Ale now getting into P8, but that was a little bit dangerous there from the Ferrari and the Red Bull as well, as Jarpo Jippy goes a little bit wide, as Alex now, the championship leader, gets in front of Jarpo Jippy, who is P3 in the standings, and Just Ale now in a net P5 spots-ish, and you can see he loses just about... honestly, he might come out behind everyone here as we go through turn 1 and into turn 2, essentially. He just comes out in front of Alex. So that is actually a good place. Neb in front of his championship rival. The Alpine has been really held up here. But we do see Neb down the inside of the Red Bull of Just Ale. And Neb will get back up into P6, taking even more points out of that championship between himself and Alex. So it's crucial for him that he does make these moves and just tries to get in much points as possible compared to Alex. Alex still in P8 at the moment. Will we see any other moves being made into the next couple of turns? We see Raven getting very close to the back of Brian Evans, and he will go down the inside and of the Alpine as well. The Alpine, I think, was ghosted a little bit as the Alpine manages to stay in the net race lead. Obviously, Bass Destroyer still holding them up, but side by side go Raven and Brian Evans, and now Bass Destroyer has lost all 4 places as himself, Brian Evans, Kimi Takunda and Neb will all get those places. Bass Destroyer will continue to lose, but we will see Bass try and fight it. We do see Raven and Brian Evans going into turn 1 wheel to wheel. There's a little bit of contact there between Raven and Bass Destroyer. Bass Destroyer still holding it down the inside. Raven has the inside for turn 2. Will he be able to get that place done on the exit? He will leave the space on the inside there, but he will clear the Sauber. Will we now see Neb, who now is in P5 ahead of Brian Evans? But Neb, will he be able to get the move around the outside going into turn 24 or 25, whichever one it is? He's easily passed. So is Brian Evans, and so is Alex as well, and so is Jumbo Jippy for that matter as well, as we do see the Red Bull of Brian Evans so go wheel to wheel with Alex. Brian Evans knows that he needs to try and fight with this Ferrari, even though if he does that, it will help Neb out in the championship technically. Bass Destroyer still trying to fight this. He will go down the inside of the other Ferrari. Don't make a bit of contact this time. I'll tell you what, it's 3 wide though, going into turn 1. Bit of contact there, and I think Brian Evans has been spun round there, but it's still 3 wide between these 3 drivers, as we see a bit of contact there with the Sauber and the Ferrari going into turn 4, wheel to wheel. Somehow, Alex comes out in front. Apple Juice as well in the RB from absolutely nowhere is also up to P6. We see Bass Destroyer fly off the track there, I think, a little bit. Loses even more places, as that's Brian Evans now hitting the outside curve, bottoming him out, and he is now down in P12. We now see Suzuki Dior now going around the outside of Tharlo, I believe that is, of Bass Destroyer. Bass Destroyer still trying to fight it down the inside, and he spun the house around there. Suzuki Dior nearly spinning all the way around, and Suzuki Dior now in the Haas finds himself in P13. It is all kicking off now, isn't it? Who is in the championship lead? So Raven will do everything to make sure that his teammates will stay in the leads. We do see 2 drivers going side by side there. Brian Evans and More Leader, as I think actually it was just Dale and Brian Evans both getting past More Leader. So More Leader definitely not the leader out of that train. But will we see Razza Gamer now try and make a move down the inside? No, he won't. Will we see Apple Juice try and make a send going into turn 1? Yes, we will, as we do see Bassel's further behind. But Apple Juice and Alex side by side into turn 2. Bit of contact. Apple Juice with the outside line. Just Dale getting a 3-second time penalty, as Apple Juice will get the move. More Leader and Razza Gamer now going side by side. Just Dale down to P10 now. But will we see Neb try and make a move now? Will we see Raven try and go for a send? And he does switch to the inside very late on. Locks the front left. And we see Kimi Dakota just saying thank you. And Neb also gets the move. Raven making a massive error there. Neb will take P2 with Kimi Dakunda winning the Saudi sprint. He will take pole for the feature race. Neb will take P2 with Raven in P3. Jumbo Jippy will take P4 as Apple Juice will beat Alex to the line. And Brian Evans will finish in P7, More Leader P8, Razza Gamer P9, and Tharlo will take the final points in the sprint. We have seen previously throughout the weekend that the undercut is powerful, and if you lose out of DRS then it is pretty crucial. But 5 red lights and it's go, go, go for the Saudi Grand Prix. Kimi Dakunda, does he get a pretty good reaction compared to Neb Restream? Neb will hold it down the inside. A little bit of contact there as we do see Raven Rest going down the inside. A little bit of mounting there, a little bit of desync, but somehow Raven is in P3 at the moment. Jumbo Jippy and Apple Juice here. Apple Juice still looking quite close there, but not able to get the move, as we do see a bit of battling. And I think Suzuki Dior there has had a spin in the back. Pretty much what happened to More Leader. Sorry, not More Leader. What happened to my teammates actually is Raven going wide. I think maybe bottoming out on the curb, and he's gone down to P9 now, being passed by More Leader. But yeah, that is not what he needed, as Neb now actually goes into the race lead, goes down the inside of that driver. And I think Apple Juice has also had a moment. And there's a crash there with Razagamer. Has been tapped around. I think Saban and Morlida maybe having a bit of issue as well. I'm not really too sure what happened with that, but I'm pretty sure it might have been between Jaipo, Jippy and Alex, maybe potentially, but Zadave and Brian Evans there having a swap as well, as Brian Evans will get in front. Will we see any of the drivers going side by side? Apple Juice, who was looking good, he's going to try to go around the outside, but not able to get that. Do we see any of the drivers going side by side? Bass Destroyer around the outside of Just Ale, and Bass Destroyer will get into P9. Will we see any of the drivers though? Just Ale trying to fight that back on the V-Carb. Will he try to go down the inside? We will see him go down the inside of Saban, actually, as Bath actually gets past Saban. And now Just Ale will have the inside of the Alpine. Will he be able to claim that going down into turn 1? Bath there still in the, still in front, though, of this battle. But Just Ale will hold it down the inside and will claim that move going into turn 1.
Jaipo Jippy up a little bit. Can Neb just fight the Alpine? And then you get a little bit of an issue as Raven having a little look at Thalo.
Obviously, Raven, actually, despite his earlier incident, he is actually clawing back a bit of position, back to P6 now. But will we see a change for the lead, as we do see Kimi Dekunda try to go defensive down the inside, going into turn 1. Neb will try. Oh, and he's missed by his own teammate, I think. What a disaster there in the Mercedes garage. Both of their drivers have come together. Neb, who was looking for the championship lead going into this race weekend by having a very good sprint, he's been tapped by his own teammates, probably ruining his chances now to get into the lead of the championship. The championship leader now in P2, miles ahead of his teammate. And I'll tell you what, Jaipo Jippy now might actually reclaim that P2 spot in the championship as well. Alex Neb might drop down another position, as we do see Raven now go down the inside of Jaipo Jippy. He saw what he did to his teammate. He thinks, you know what? You didn't, you did that to your teammate. I'm now going to try and I'm now going to try and take that P3 spots, but no moves being made there. Tharlo now actually all over the back of Raven. I have a slight feeling that maybe the Mercedes were listening in on our commentary thinking, actually, you know what, they have a point, both drivers being on the same tire. They might be in a spot of bother there, as Raven sends it down the inside and will get the move. But will Jaipo Chippy complete the switchback? No, he doesn't. Raven up to P3 after that earlier incident. A good recovery drive from himself.
Swung in the direction of Ferrari here.
Will we see Tharlo there make a send on the inside of Jaipo Jippy? He does get a wheel there, but will he be able to complete that? Going out on the exit, a little bit of contact as we go on the exit though, but we will switch to the front as we do see Alex. Will he dive to the inside of Kimi Dekunda? And he will. Alex sends it down on the inside. Jaipo Jippy now down the inside of Raven. He will then eventually back out, but then we'll try it around the outside of Raven. Will we see will we see Tharlo now try and make a move around the outside, going into turn 4? Apple Juice with the 3-second type policy. They both go wide there. That will certainly be a report there from Tharlo, but thankfully they don't lose any positions to Brian Evans, but that got a little bit close. Jaipo Jippy still in P4 now, but they have nearly dropped to second through to Raven. But Alex and Kimi Dekunda still going at it. Kimi Dekunda sending it down the inside of Alex, now going into turn 13. Obviously, Alex is fighting for a huge lead in the championship, but he is still going to be will-to-will with his Alpine going into turns 12, I do believe, going into the right-left chicane. But thankfully, that's not even anywhere close to turn 12. That's like turn 15 or 16, actually, in fact.
In looking to try to defend from Thalo now, as actually Brian Evans is right on the heels of Jaipo Jippy, who continues to struggle here. 1.5 seconds behind the two Ferraris in front, and dropping quickly now, being passed by the Red Bull. Probably as easy as you'd like for Brian Evans.
Actually, the Red Bull of Justel there getting the move on to Dave as well into turn 7, as Bath Destroyer and Apple Juice having a bit of a battle. Bath Destroyer going a little bit wide. Will that invite the invitation for Neb there maybe, but not able to takes the race lead. Saban and Zadave as well making a move. Will we see the McLaren there? Zadave round the outside of Saban. Can he get that move stick on the exit? Not able to, as I think there was a bit of swapping behind, but I'm not really too sure who the drivers were. But Zadave now, as Kimi Dekunda gets back into the race lead, and Alex not able to fight it. Jaipo Jippy also down the inside of Brian Evans as well. Viva has put in the chat, I'm pretty sure he's joking though, but he put his TP, told him he's fired already. So, yeah, I don't think that Mercedes are happy about that. But here we go. Alex will look to try and send it down the inside, but he isn't close enough. But we will see Jaipo Jippy being passed there by Brian Evans, and I do also think that Saban was able to defend, as More Leader will defend from Apple Juice as well. Will we see Apple Juice try the switchback though on the Williams going out of turn 2? He does go down the inside. He will have the outside for turn 4, and I'll tell you what, that was a decent move there from Apple Juice.
And stay in front of Giant Jippy. And actually, Brian Evans is doing an extremely good job here. One to watch at the moment is Saban, the lead man on the hard compound tire, which is just now looking likely to be the best tire to be driving on at the moment, and he's within a second of Thallo as well.
Apple Juice getting pretty close to Zadev as Alex will retake the race lead. That'll probably change again, but we do see that Suzuki Dior around the outside. That Haas is a rocket ship, rocketing into P9 now. Will we see the move change once again as Alex does actually head into the pits? Kimi will stay out for another lap. Will Suzuki Dior, though, be able to hang on to P9? As we do see Dave and Apple Juice getting close, we will see the McLaren move to the inside. As we do see the V-car around the outside, 3 wide momentarily. As Suzuki Dior back down into P11, Apple Juice and P10, sorry, Apple Juice and Dave still going at it.
I believe the Racing Bull of Apple Juice may just have a little bit of lime green wing, as he made a mistake there out of that corner. That's going to invite Suzuki Dior. That Haas around the outside, the hard compound tire looking like it's stronger here on lap number 9. Does he have the move done? He just about does and is clear.
And is the only other driver on the medium tire to stay out, unless Dave will continue to stay out, which he does. Suzuki Dior as well will take P4, but Apple Juice on the inside will now go into the first sector, going wheel to wheel between that Haas and the McLaren, as Saban has also stayed out as well. I was expecting that, but Apple Juice will take P3 at the moment, as we do see Kimi Dekunda there going down the inside of Alex into turn 1 again for the net race lead. Neb there with a setting the fastest lap at the moment, trying to make a comeback from his race. Kimi Dekunda not able to complete the move, and Alex will stay in the race lead at the moment.
Just keeping tabs. Kimi Dekunda maybe looking to make the move. The Ferraris offered the outside, but I don't think... Oh, they are going to hang this out. This is great racing between the Alpine and the Ferrari. Both open that rear wing, looking to have a look at the Haas, but the Ferrari just covering off that line for the time being. Is the Haas going to maintain this position? He does so. Alex to the inside line, Kimi Dekunda to the outside line, and I just imagine the Ferrari is going to get the move done well before the corner, but can the Alpine clear the Haas? That will be the question. He pulls alongside him, looking to the outside line. He's clear of Suzuki Dior, so there you go. It's Alex and Kimi Dekunda who have second and third, but up the road, 8.2 seconds ahead, is Saban and the other Alpine.
Raven, what a send there.
Oh,
on the Haas of Suzuki Dior, yeah. Make a send on Alex. We will ride on board with the Alpine. He's really burning that overtake, and he will send it down the inside, going into turn 1. Still wheel to wheel between these two as we go through turn 2. Little bit of contact, but has Kimi Dekunda been able to get that, or has Alex defended it? And Alex has indeed defended that. The Ferraris a little bit. Okay, never mind that. I was going to say that Kimi Dekunda could try and get it in front of Alex and hold him up a little bit to help his team out, but to help his teammate out, but yeah, he doesn't need to, oh my god, as Kimi Dekunda has made the move. You can see Kimi there trying to move to the inside, but that trying to break the slipstream will not work. Alex now will have the DRS, will move to the outside. Can he get that move stick? Kimi Dekunda, though, still holds it down the inside. Alex has to try the switchback. Will he be able to claim that? Down the inside, little bit of contact as Kimi tries to cover it off. Alex somehow still in P2 though, but I have to say that was some good defensive driving there from Kimi. I don't really think anything was too illegal about that. I think that is mainly just hard racing, just making sure that we aren't missing any battles further up. But you can just see how much more grip Neb has through those corners, and he's already on the battery through turn 23, 24, heading into turn 25 and into 26. He might try and get to the inside there of Zadev, and he does. Can he also make the move on the Williams and More Leader? He does get a well there, but doesn't get a little bit of contact there on the exit though. But will we see Neb now try and make the move on that Williams going down into turn 1? He might not even need turn 1, the braking zone of turn 1, and he's easily already passed. As you see Dave now going down the inside of the Williams, now trying to make a move himself. Isn't able to get the inside. The Williams covers it off. The McLaren trying to hold it around the outside though, and he is going to go wheel to wheel into turn 4, side by side. Somehow Dave gets that move. Decent move there from the McLaren, but the Williams is still not done. He's still trying to fight it back into the next few corners to just try and claw back some time that he has lost initially. And I did see someone hit the wall, or hear someone hit the wall. I'm not really too sure who it was. Yeah, I think it probably was Alex.
Outside of the second.
Yeah. It did sound like it did come from that. I think that was on the inside of turn, I think it was maybe turn 9, heading into turn 10. And yeah, I think Alex might not even be within the DRS range, and this could be very crucial here for Kimi Dukunda. If Alex is outside of that second, now this is when Raven actually does need to pass Alex here. Do you think that Raven is thinking, you know what, GG's Kimi, I need to protect my teammate here to keep P3? Yeah. Do you think that Raven is just going to be thinking, you know what, Kimi, take this race victory, I need to protect my teammate?
100%, because Kimi is he's got the raw pace in order to keep the Ferrari behind. And he's recognized that. And I think Alex is telling his teammate, hey, this Red Bull is flying past me here for P3. And he has a significantly higher battery than Alex as well. Or at least it did at one point. So there you go.
He will try and prioritize the exit through here. Can he get the battery down? Can he get the move? Alex behind. He's not really close enough. Brian Evans now heading down the straight. Is he closing in? He is closing. Can he find the inside line? Raven there on the inside, and I don't think he's going to be able to get it, but Kimi will come across the line, and he will win the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. We will switch back, though, to see Raven. Can he protect off Brian Evans? Brian Evans moving to the outside. He's just been able to get it by 18 milliseconds. Brian Evans just losing out. Alex will take P4. Jarpo Jippy P5. Just L in P6 with Thalo in P7. Saban in P8. And Neb, unfortunately, in P9, probably falling down to P3 in the championship due to Jarpo's Jippy's earlier tap. That's a massive, massive moment there in the race where the two Mercedes got a little bit too close. And I think Jarpo Jippy now is taking P2 in the championship. Zigdior finishing in P10 with Zidane finishing in P11. Once he crosses the line, Leader will then finish in P12 with 3 seconds worth of penalties. He will keep it. Bath Destroyer will then finish in P13 with Raza finishing in P14 and the non-finisher of Apple Juice in P15.